Hi guys, this is Dan. Huge welcome if you're new here. August is shaping to an epic reading month. I have a mix of long-awaited sequels, two brand new releases, and a sci-fi adventure that I have been putting off for a while. Will I actually put it off, or will my TBR gonna crush me? Place your bets in the comment because this is what I'm going to read in August. I have been following my 2025 reading plan and August will be such a milestone. Plus, I have two massive brand new releases that I can't resist. If you have been following this news or if you have watched a couple of my videos, you would know which two new releases I'm talking about, and one of them is really hyped. Also, if you know me well enough at this stage, you will get tired of me keep repeating my 2025 reading plan, and you know which series I am referring to. Surprisingly, there's no subscription books in August, no more broken binding. I'm just joking. So logically, I don't need to read anything from that series. So without further ado, let's dive into my TBR of August. The first one I have here is Age of the King by Philip C. Quaintrell, and it is from my 2025 reading plan. It is also the sixth book in the Echo saga. Currently, I'm actually reading the fifth book of this series, so I don't really want to look up to the synopsis too much to spoil myself. In case you haven't heard about the Echo saga before, it is a 9-book self-published epic fantasy series. Now I'm reading the second trilogy in this saga, which is called The Echoes of the Lost, which is set 30 years after the first trilogy. This series is known for the political intrigue, very intricate world building, which got so much for you to explore in this world of further, and plenty of action sequences. There are also quite a lot of classic fantasy elements, let's say magic, elves, and also the dwarves. Then coming to Age of the King, it is the conclusion of the second trilogy in this series. I have really high expectation for this one because this series improved quite a lot if we dive deeper to it. Like I said, I didn't check out the synopsis or reviews on Goodreads because honestly, I don't want to spoil myself for this treat. If my guess is right, this book continues with the conflict between our main character and the rising dark force, which is led by a character called the Crow. I don't expect this large-scale conflict gonna be concluded in the book that I am currently reading. This fight feels so hopeless, which is such a different vibe you get from the first trilogy. I expect in this epic conclusion we're gonna have plenty of actions, political intrigue, as well as significant character growth. Even though I haven't finished the fifth book yet, I'm still very interested to find out the fate of our characters. This is going to be an epic ending. After this sequel, now we move to talk about the two new releases. The first one I am actually quite scared to pick up because it is Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. If you don't know me, I finished quite a lot of works by R.F. Kuang other than Yellowface. I love The Poppy War, which is one of my favorite historical fantasy of all time. I like Babel. It held such a emotional weight after I finished it. Now coming to Katabasis, this new release, it almost feels like Babel because it is also a dark academia. This time we are not going to Oxford, but another very famous academic town, Cambridge. It is about our main character, Alex Law, who sacrificed quite a lot for a better future to work with a professor called Grimes. But one day, because of an accident caused by her, Grimes was dead. To pursue her dreams, Alex even traveled to hell to save Grimes. But Alex was not the only one having this thought. Her rival, Peter, also came to the same conclusion. But my only worry is, would this book gonna be like Babel, quite heavy with R.F. Kuang's research? Last time when I read Babel, I really don't mind because I can really connect with the stories. I don't mind going through all those details, all those footnotes. So it was like a really interesting read to me because I am from that culture. But coming to Katabasis, hell, research with hell. What's gonna happen? I'm just not too sure what R.F. Kuang gonna showcase to us, you know what I mean? I guess the only way to find out is wait till late August. I believe the publication date is 26th of August, so we got plenty of time to wait for this new release. Another new release I have here is The Art of Legend by Wesley Chu. Now, after checking the publication date for this new release, it is actually the same as Katabasis, so which one should I pick? Given that they are published on the same date and it is also late August, I'm just not too sure can I finish them in time or before the end of the month. So I might change my mind later. 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. 6 days to finish 2 chunky books. Can I do it? I'll talk about my plan for August later. In case you don't know, I love talking about my plan of the month outside of reading in my TBR video. But never mind, back to The Art of Legend. In case you don't know, it is the 3rd book in the War Arts saga, and I don't think it is going to be a trilogy, otherwise it will be mentioned in the synopsis as like the conclusion of the series. In this world, we have a prophecy about a chosen one that gonna defeat a great enemy called the Eternal Khan. But in real life, this chosen one is not ready yet. So he is under the training of a great martial artist called Tai Shi. And at this point, I really love this not ready chosen one take. Other than this pair of teacher and students, in this world, we also follow other characters. Let's say a quirky bounty hunter and a great warrior that want to defy her destiny. I think it is such a refreshing take on fantasy. It is martial art inspired and full of actions, and I do mean it. I think it is just so interesting to see something that I used to read when I was young that was in Chinese turned into a proper English fantasy world. I think it is just so crazy because it is not translated but crafted by someone with that kind of knowledge and experience. In case you don't know, the author, Wesley Chu, was a stunt actor before. So this book, you can already imagine it got so many lively action sequences with a touch of like wuxia sort of writing style. In this world, you will literally care about this band of characters, no matter it is the teacher, no matter it was the chosen one or the bounty hunter. They're all just so fun to read. I don't know what to really expect in this 3rd book. Obviously, our chosen one still needs some training, so I can't wait to get back into this world. Okay, before talking the last book, let's sit on this sofa and talk about my plan for August. If you know me well, you know that I love to talk about my plan outside of reading for the next month. So we are like planning ahead. If you remember from last month, I said that I was going to be away in the 1st week of July, which was also out of the UK, by the way. And also, I would take a weekend off. Now, it is like, by the time of filming, it is the end of July, and honestly, it significantly affects my reading progress. I'll talk about my birthday trip more in the 5-star quest, but to talk about it very briefly here, I planned for a 5-day holiday and turned into a 7-day one, which is not good. And then with that weekend off, I took like 4 days off reading. So I wasn't really reading for 11 days in July. And you know what? Not until by the end of the month, I finished this 2nd book on my TBR, which is like not good, guys. So I'm a bit scared for August because I am also going to be away for a week by the end of the month. I'm not too sure how much that's going to affect my reading because there are 2 new releases by the end of the month. Clash, clash, clash. So ideally, I would want to read the Echo Saga and the next book I'm going to talk about in early August. Then there will be a time gap between after finishing the 2nd book and before leaving for the holiday. So if you see any change to my TBR, don't be surprised here because my schedule is a total mess right now. I'm not too sure here because I know that Verilute is going to do Katabasis for the adult August boss, so I'm not too sure can I get a hand of it before the official publication date. If that is the case, perfect, I can read it earlier. If not, there will be some changes to my TBR. I will probably read something on my shelf and they are staring at me. So that is pretty much what's going to happen in August, another chaotic month for a chaotic reader. So back to the next book. Coming to the last book on my August TBR, as I can only finish 4 fantasy books in a month, we have Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio, the 1st book of the Sun Eater series. It is a series that I want to start in this year, but slowly finishing it. There's no rush to complete this series, let's say by the end of the year, nothing like that. I learned from my experience with The Wheel of Time or the Echo Saga. I don't really want to give myself a fixed schedule to complete a longer fantasy series. I want to give myself some flexibility to tailor-made my TBR. And you guys are also probably tired of me keep repeating the same series as well. I think The Sun Eater is a series that got hyped probably 1 to 2 years ago. Now, of course, it's the Dungeon Crawler. I can't really say it. Dungeon Crawler Cow series, which you can see on everyone's TBR these days. If I'm right here, I think The Sun Eater currently got 6 books in total, with one that's gonna be out later this year in November. It is a space opera with rich epic fantasy elements. In this 6-book or 7-book series, we're gonna follow one main character called Hadrian, a reluctant warrior whose choices gonna reshape the fate of the Empire and beyond. This is the point that got me interested in this series, as it dives deep into politics, philosophy, ancient machine, gods, and a war that could consume the stars. Okay, that is so broad to capture what's gonna happen in this series. So coming back to the first book, Empire of Silence, it is going to be like the origin story of our main character, Hadrian, how he became the Sun Eater, a man who destroyed a sun and fight against the Empire. I expect this one is going to be like reading a legend about a very famous gladiator. So these are the books that I want to finish in August. Of course, we're going to have 2 more. First of all, we have a series that I need to continue and another series that I have been dodging for too long. 2 new releases that I honestly can't wait to pick up as well. Which one do you think I will love the most, or which one do you think I will struggle? And if you have read the Sun Eater series, feel free to let me know will I like it or not. I will also of course do my 5-star quest, which is like a monthly reading vlog where I'm going to go through all the books on this TBR. So if you want my honest reaction and all the chaos, stay tuned to it. It will be up by September. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel Dynasty so you won't miss anything from me. I'll see you all real soon. Goodbye.